So let's suppose around 10 a.m. in the morning, two people, one person is going to take the position of the long and other person is going to take the position of the short, and they are entering into the futures contract when the price was 50 rupees per kg. So this is the price of the futures contract, or this is the price at which the futures contract on 1000 kg apple is trading at this particular point in time. So the long has taken a position at 50 per kg. The short has taken a position at 50 per kg. So they are going to keep their positions and they are not going to square it up, or they are not going to exit the position. Remember, these are futures contract. You can exit your positions in between because it's just like buying equity shares. You can buy it, and if you're feeling you're making a profit on an intraday basis, you can even exit it at that point. So they are not going to exit their contract. They are going to keep the contract as it is. Now we have reached 3:30 p.m. This is the time at which the exchange is going to close. So the exchange closes at 3:30 p.m. The closing price at 3:30 p.m. was reported as 52 rupees per kg. So what we are going to do is we are going to compare the contract price of 50, or the time when which we entered into the contract, the price was 50, and closing prices on that particular day is 52. So this is the price at which we have entered into the contract, and this is the closing price. So if we just calculate today's profit and loss, now for the long it is +2 because he has purchased the contract at 50 and the contract is now trading at 52. So he has made a profit of 2 and this guy has made a loss of 2. He has agreed to sell something at 50, but the price is now 52 of that particular futures contract. So he has made a loss of 2 per kg of this Apple futures. Now, even though the transaction between them is going to happen at the end of the month, so let's say the transaction between them is going to happen on 31st of March, but today is, let's say, is only 1st of March. So on 1st of March, this is the profit and loss calculation at the end of the day. The transaction between them is going to happen at the end of the month, which is 31st of March, but we have just calculated today's profit and loss. So in forward contract, we do not calculate the daily profit and loss. We do this kind of a calculation only on the day of the expiry when the contract is going to mature or when the transaction is going to be settled. But in futures contract, we are going to do this on a daily basis. So today, the long is making a profit of 2 and the short is making a loss of 2. Tomorrow, if they keep their positions open, the long can make more money. Let's say he's making a profit of 3 rupees per kg and the short is going to lose 3 rupees per kg. So this profit and loss calculation is happening on a daily basis, but the transaction, the buying and selling of the 1000 kg apple is going to happen only at the end of the month. So I hope this is clear. Now we are going to use the daily closing prices of the futures contract in order to calculate the profit and loss. So we did not calculate this profit and loss at 2:30, or we did not calculate this profit and loss around 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. We have done this profit and loss calculation only at the end of the day when the closing prices is given by the exchange. So this calculation and profit and loss will happen only using the closing prices, and this is known as the daily settlement price. So let's see some example and let's see some working. So the contract is for 1000 kg apples and each kg is worth 50 rupees. So total value of the contract is 1000 kg multiplied by 50, which is rupees 50,000. Let's say the exchange is stating that both long and short have to post an initial margin of 10% of the value of the contract. So 10% of 50,000 is going to be 5,000. So 5,000 should be your initial margin, which is required to be posted by both the long and the short. So both of them have to post this 5,000 with their respective brokers. And the maintenance margin is 80% of initial margin. So 80% of 5,000 is 4,000. So minimum at any point in time, 4,000 should always remain in the account. If the account falls below 4,000, you have to deposit additional money and bring it back to the level of 5,000, which is the initial margin. So let's see some calculation. So the trade price, the price at which they have entered into the particular futures contract was 50. Initial margin posted by both of them is 5,000 with their respective brokers. Maintenance margin is going to be 4,000. So this is 80% of 5,000. This is also a requirement for both these parties. Now, day one closing futures prices. So let's say around 3:30 p.m. The price of futures contract is 50.75. So that means prices have gone up from rupees 50, it has gone up to 50.75. So if the prices have gone up, the long is making a profit of 75 paise per kg. So 75 paise multiplied by 1000 is 750. So his daily profit and loss or today's profit and loss is 750. If this guy is making a profit of 750, this guy is going to lose 750. It's a zero sum game. One person's gain is equal to other person's loss. So this 750, what he is gaining, will be deposited into his account. So now his account will have a balance of 5,750. So this is nothing but 5,000 is initial margin plus 750 is daily profit and loss that is going to be deposited in his account, and he is going to have 5,750 in his margin account. For the short, he is going to lose this 750. So from 5,000, this 750 is going to be reduced and his account will now have a balance of 4,250. So whatever is your daily profit and loss, that will be automatically be deposited into your account or it will be deducted from your account. Take a minute, pause the video over here and try to understand this calculation. And if you have any questions, you can post it in the comment section. When this transaction is done, when this profit and loss is settled, the value of the contract is reset. So for tomorrow, when we are going to do this calculation, we are going to take the comparative price as 50.75. So tomorrow when we do the profit and loss calculation, we need an opening price. So this 50.75 will be used as the opening price tomorrow. So that is why we say that the value of the contract is reset from 50. It is now 50.75. The profit of 750 and the loss of 750 is already adjusted. Let's go to day 2. Now day 2 around 3:30 p.m. the futures closing price was 51.25. So from 50.75 it has gone up to 51.25. That means there is an increase of 50 paise. So it is plus 0.5. Multiply by 1000 per kg. So total profit made by the long is 500 as on day 2. So if this guy is making 500, this guy is losing 500. So let's adjust that to the margin account. 5750 plus 500 will give you a closing balance of 6250. And because the short is losing money, the amount will be reduced from his account. So 4250 minus 500 will give a closing balance of 3750. Now 3750 is below the maintenance margin. How much money should always be there in the account? 4000 rupees should always be there in the account. But now the account is having only 3750. So it is below the maintenance margin. So what the broker will do is the broker will call this particular short and say that your account is below the maintenance margin of 4000, you only have 3750. So because the broker will give this person, let's say a telephone call or an SMS, this particular conversation that is happening between the broker and the short is known as margin call. So margin call means, so let's say for your understanding, a call is being given to the person to say that your account is below the maintenance margin. You need to post additional funds. How much should he deposit? So whenever your account is falling below the maintenance margin, you have to bring your account back to the level of initial margin. So initial margin is 5000. Now his account is having only 3750. So now we are going to compare these values. So 3750 should become 5000. So he has to deposit 1250 more. So this is the new funds which is getting deposited into the account, and the account is now having a balance of 5000. This 1250 that is being deposited is known as variation margin. So variation margin is the additional money that is deposited by that particular trader whenever his account is falling below the maintenance margin. So variation margin is the additional amount of money that is deposited by the trader when his account falls below the maintenance margin or when he receives a margin call. Again, pause this video at this point and try to understand this calculation. So one person is the long and one person is the short, and they are entering into a Nifty futures contract when it is trading at a price of 18,000. Now, Nifty futures is having a lot size of 50. We have already seen this. So the value of the contract is 18,000 multiplied by 50, which is 9 lakh rupees. They have to post an initial margin of 10% of the above. That means each one of them is going to post an initial margin of 90,000 rupees. The maintenance margin is 80% of the initial margin. So let's say 80% of 90,000 is 72,000. So both of them need to have 72,000 rupees in their account at all times. Day one closing prices of futures is 17,800. That means in the morning it was trading at 18,000. When it closed around 3:30, it came down by 200 points and currently it was closing at a price of 17,800. So 17,800 is the closing price. That means Nifty has come down by 200 points. So if whenever the value of the asset comes down, it is going to benefit the short and it is going to be a loss making situation for the long. So for the long, it is going to be minus 200 points multiplied by 50, which is the lot size. So he is going to lose 10,000 rupees as on this date. For the short, using the closing prices, he is going to make 10,000 rupees. Because the market has come down, he has made a profit of 200 multiplied by 50, which is 10,000. So this minus 10,000 and plus 10,000 will be adjusted to the initial margin. So 90,000 minus 10,000 will give you a value of 80,000. So the long is having 80,000 in his account and the short is having 90,000 plus 10,000, which is 1 lakh in his account. Now both these amounts is greater than the maintenance margin. So no need to do any kind of adjustments over here. Now the value of the contract is reset. That means for the next day's calculation, we are going to use the opening prices as 17,800. Day two, the value of Nifty futures, it has come down even more and the closing prices of Nifty futures as on day two is 17,625. That means next day also the market has come down by 175 points. So we are going to calculate this from the previous opening price of 17,800. So it was 17,800. It has come down to 17,625. That means today also the market has come down by 175 points. So the short is going to make a profit of 175 multiplied by 50, which is 8,750. And the long is going to lose that much amount of money. He is going to lose 8,750. So his account 80,000 minus 8,750 will now be only 71,250. For the short, it is going to be 1 lakh plus 8,750. So his account will be 1 lakh 8,750. Let's talk about the long. Minimum he needs to have 72,000 in his account, but he is having only 71,250. So his account is only short of 750 rupees, not more than that. But still his account is below the maintenance margin. He will receive a margin call from his broker and he has to deposit additional money, bring it back to the level of initial margin. So he will deposit 18,750 and bring his account back to the level of initial margin, which is 90,000. So this is a live case scenario in which if you're taking any position in the Nifty futures, this is how the mark to market adjustment is going to work.